She has to go back to the room, so it's going to be short.
I hope you will understand, because I couldn't keep you wait so long. I just came out in the middle of this meeting. It's a great pleasure to see you again. I have just not finished briefing the Security Council at their request on my recent visit to Myanmar, including on the wide range of issues I discussed with the Myanmar leadership and other stakeholders. From the outset, I stated that it would be a difficult mission. However, the visit provided a unique opportunity to engage directly and frankly with the Senior General Tan Shwe and the Myanmar leadership on the broad range of the challenges facing the country. I made specific proposals on various outstanding concerns which, if left unaddressed, could undermine any confidence in Myanmar's political process. These include, first, release of all political prisoners, including Daw Aung San Suu Kyi. Second, the resumption of a substantive, time-bound dialogue between the government and the opposition. And third, the creation of conditions conducive to credible, inclusive, and legitimate elections. The visit also enabled me to engage directly with the registered political parties and ethnic ceasefire groups and hear their concerns. In this regard, I'd like to take note of the statement just made by the permanent representative of Myanmar, saying that, I quote, "At the request of the Secretary General in Myanmar, the Myanmar government is processing to grant amnesty to prisoners on humanitarian ground and with a view to enabling them to participate in the 2010 general elections." This is encouraging, but I will have to continue to follow up how they will implement all the issues raised during my visit in Myanmar. As you know, I also visited the Delta region, where I witnessed our joint recovery and reconstruction efforts. Regrettably, I could not meet with Daw Aung San Suu Kyi. It was not only a deep disappointment, but also a missed opportunity for Myanmar. I was, however, able to meet separately with the leaders of her party, NLD. Now that I have conveyed in the clearest terms what is expected of Myanmar's leaders, it is up to them to respond positively in their country's own interest. The world is now watching closely whether they will choose to act in the best interest of their country or not. I would also like to take this opportunity to let you know that I'll be traveling to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, later today, so that I can meet with the leaders gathered for the summit of non-aligned movement there on Wednesday. I will deliver the address to the summit, and I will encourage the non-aligned movement to build on its leadership role among nations to address today's challenges. Those challenges include disarmament, economic crisis, climate change, and the implementation of the Millennium Development Goals. Thank you very much.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary General, you said that Tan Shwe is committed to make the elections free and fair, but the Constitution that was passed right after the cyclone says that a quarter of the seats have to go to people with military backgrounds, and that Aung San Suu Kyi couldn't run because she married a foreigner. Under those conditions, how can you believe that the elections are going to be free, fair, or credible?
I urge Senior General Tan Shwe that this election should be fair and free, but also legitimate, inclusive, and credible. Then to be credible and legitimate, Daw Aung San Suu Kyi and all political prisoners should be released. I emphasize that without participation of Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, without her being able to campaign freely, and without her NLD parties to establish all party offices all throughout the provinces, this election may not be regarded as credible and legitimate.
Should she be a candidate?
That's what I'm going to continue to follow up. You have seen You have heard the PR of Myanmar saying that his government is now taking some procedures to allow some amnesty, but I'm not quite sure who will be included in this amnesty. But I have made it quite clear that Do Aung San Suu Kyi in particular should be released and free to participate in the election.
The third anniversary of the 2006 war, July war in Lebanon. What would you like to say about the situation there? Are you optimistic about the future, or what do you think about the situation in Lebanon?
All the developments of situation which have taken place in Lebanon have been encouraging, and all international community, including myself as United Nations Secretary General, should support and encourage such ongoing development of political maturity. The national government should be formed as soon as possible with all the parties participating there. And this is what I have been discussing with the Lebanese leaders. And I'm optimistic about the future of Lebanon.
Mr. Secretary General, do you have any comment about the Sudanese government judgment on a journalist by the name, a woman journalist, Lubna Ahmed al-Hussein, of flashing her 40 times because she wore a trouser in public?
I'm not aware of this fact, but if you give me some time, I'll come back to you. Yeah.
Mr. Secretary, 2 days ago, it was, since we were talking about anniversaries and massacres, 14th anniversary of Srebrenica. I haven't seen or heard anything that this body did say or mention in regard to that. Though one would say that UNPROFOR was the most responsible for that what happened, since it was declared safe haven of the refugees. What's your comment on that?
We have seen in the past very unfortunate and tragic massacre of people, genocide in several places. We should not repeat that anymore. That is what we are doing very hard. That is what I have been committed, so that this world should never experience the repetition of that kind of very tragic massacre of civilian population. But thank you very much. Thank you. I have to go back.
He has to go back.
I just came here for